Have you ever wanted to own a bird that when you find out that you're able to mate with them, or basically assault the bird by rubbing their back or under their wings, and by doing so, you are causing harm to the bird?
I don't know if anyone knows this, but like, if you touch a bird on its back or under its wings, it like sexually arouses the bird. And for the first the first 4 months I had Marty, like I didn't know that. I got comments like, don't touch him on his back, you're turning him on. I was like, fuck off. And then he started screaming all day long, like all day. He would scream all day long. I was like, why is he screaming, you know? He was screaming because he was sexually frustrated. And we're gonna have eggs one day. You want me to touch in a good spot? Yeah?
What the fuck is wrong with you? Have you ever wanted to be so out of touch that you buy a house that you couldn't afford and claim to be broke despite flaunting that you used to make up to $350,000 a month on OnlyFans?
I'm ready for my OnlyFans shoot, and it did so fucking well, like in October, this past October. So now it's like 350 a month. It's insane.
Well, I'm sure you haven't, because you're probably not batshit crazy, but meet Tara's world. She's an influencer slash OnlyFans creator who's amassed over 5 million followers across all platforms, with her most being on TikTok. Tara is your typical LA influencer who is basically entitled and pretty much thinks everything in life should be handed to her, and she also thinks that her past DUIs and hit and runs are just a fun little quirky thing she thought she should share to her friends on the internet.
So I compiled a list of why I can't drive. I got a DUI when I was 18. I ran over a gas pump, knocked it over, ran it over, then left, got a hit and run. I've hit a deer. I've hit a bird. I played bumper cars off of a fucking curb once and ruined my car. I've hit a plaza sign. I have T-boned somebody and their car door came off.
We get the point. And I say friends because she, for some reason, likes to call all of her followers friends. I don't really understand that. When you have a creator calling her followers friends, it kind of leans into that parasocial aspect that we all know and love. But she just loves it and embraces it and genuinely just promotes it. And just because she loved YouTubers in the past and was parasocial with them, she feels the need to be parasocial with her audience.
Hi friends! People are trying to bully me into thinking that me calling my followers my friends is like parasocial and weird. Don't care. Being parasocial is fun, and like growing up, YouTubers, like watching my favorite YouTubers, like really helped me out a lot.
I also want to include parasocial relationships aren't inherently bad, but it gets bad when the person, aka the fan, develops feelings for the content creator that obviously the content creator doesn't reciprocate. Like, parasocial relationships aren't bad when you're like feeling lonely and then something that you watch, like a TV show, a social media content creator, etc., makes you feel like included or a part of something, so that you don't want to just blow your brains out every night. But when you have a content creator calling their fan base friends, I feel like that just kind of makes it seem to the person that's watching them that they are inherently their friend and they know everything about them. So if they see them in real life, they might feel entitled to a certain conversation or a certain thing that they want from the content creator. So I don't know, it's just food for thought, but I just think promoting it is inherently just weird. And this just might give some insight as to why Tara is even like this in the first place. Tara is a pretty polarizing figure in today's influencer space, or whatever the hell you want to call it. But we're not here to talk about what she's done in the past, but exactly what's happening to her right now. Although I should highlight, she still denies sexually touching her bird and basically enticing the bird and wanting to have babies with him.
One of my scandals was that people thought that I had with my pet bird. Like, I'm not kidding. And
did you say bird?
People genuinely believed this, and
Were
that
you
is
pretending to?
no.
Was there a bird
no
close to you?
suggestion of that?
No,
Even the bird wing was like.
No, so I made a TikTok once, and I was just like, oh my god, like I just found out that if you like pet, because I have a pet bird, if you pet his back, like it can turn them on. And I made this video about it and people ran, and that is to this day like my biggest scandal.
And we're gonna have eggs one day. You want me to touch it in a good spot?
But her most recent controversy basically highlights how much of an entitled brat she is and how she does not respect other people's time and is basically being a huge bitch. Over New Year's Eve, Tara had asked her followers to borrow a specific shirt because apparently this specific top was not in stock. She couldn't find it anywhere in her size or something. So she asked her followers, and eventually she found somebody, and they were texting back and forth. And eventually when it came time for Tara, I don't care. When it came time for her to receive the shirt, the other person had just suddenly ghosted her. And what was Tara's response to this? Tara decided to post a video about the interaction and claimed that the other person, who she basically called a friend because for some reason she's calling her followers friends, I really don't understand that, but that she purposely ghosted her and hated her so much that she essentially trolled her.
One of my haters did something up to me today. So you know the whole halter top drama that did not have to be a drama? I was literally just asking the girlies if anyone had a shirt I could borrow. I consider like my audience my friends. I wouldn't make TikToks if I didn't consider y'all friends. Like that's just not, but because I'm an influencer, people assume that I'm like the worst person in the world. I'm evil. I don't deserve respect. I don't deserve kindness, all the things. So I planned on going to the mall today, but I got a DM late last night like, hey, I have that shirt, like you can borrow it. I was like, oh my God, really? Like I will take such good care of it. I'll send it right back to you after New Year's Eve. Like she lived in the valley. She was gonna Uber package it to me. We were chatting for a while. She seemed so nice. So today I did not go to the mall because I was like, she's Uber packaging me the shirt. Didn't go to the mall today. I was completely relying on her. She ghosted me. She was playing the long game. She was like pretending like she like loved me so that I wouldn't go to the mall and like find a shirt. And then she like ghosted me. I'm honestly like, right on. If I hated someone that much, I wouldn't be able to like pretend like I loved them for as long as she did. She f***ed me over real bad. She was just like, yep, hasn't answered me in like 3 hours.
Listen, I understand that you could be somewhat frustrated or annoyed with this whole situation, but also you can literally just go buy another shirt. Or even better, if you don't want to spend money, you can do what the rest of us do and put on the same outfits we have been wearing week after week. Or perhaps you have a specialty outfit that you wear on occasions, but most of us aren't buying specific shirts or whatever for every little holiday or every week. I just don't understand why she's coming onto the internet and spewing this nonsense out like we're supposed to feel bad for her. And why is the first response to her not responding to you for 3 hours to blast this situation on the internet? It just seems strange to me that you went from 0 to 100 and immediately thought that this woman hated you for not responding. 3 hours of no response is perfectly reasonable. In fact, I do it all the time. And I don't really expect anyone else to respond to me within 3 hours. Like if they suddenly stop responding and then don't respond for 5 hours, I don't really care. And I don't think most people would unless it's an emergency. And if you think this is an emergency, then you need to get like a job. What the hell? To make matters even worse, the girl that she was DMing ended up commenting on this video claiming to be a nurse and that she was working at an ER that was short-staffed and they needed her to stay for overtime. She says, "Hi everyone, it was me. I am so sorry. I am a nurse and there's so many sicknesses going around and it was so short-staffed and I had to stay overtime. I had just got off and it's 3 a.m. I have apologized to Tara and there were so many patients in the emergency room tonight. I'm not a hater. I still do love her content." After reading this, you would think that Tara would have some sympathy for this woman or that, you know, she would at least understand the situation that she was in. And she probably read this comment and thought about her response and thought that she owned this woman because she goes, "If you knew you were going to be working, you shouldn't have offered, or you could have told me that so we could have worked around it. Like, respectfully, give me a break." What? The fucking gall to tell a nurse, "give you a break," is quite frankly hysterical. I would also bet that since she was a nurse, they typically aren't allowed to use their personal phones, especially like in the ER. So no, she probably couldn't text the TikTok influencer that she had to stay for overtime at her job, probably saving people's lives, or at least helping them out. The absolute last thing that is probably on her mind is, oh shit, I've got to give the 5 million follower millionaire TikTok influencer the shirt I told her she could borrow. This was also on New Year's Eve. Respectfully, give me a break. What break, dude? Go to the store. Where? I am failing to comprehend how and why she would even respond like this. And to be honest with you, she could have been sitting at home watching TV or jerking off. It wouldn't have mattered because you are literally, and I say this again, a millionaire. You could just go buy another shirt if the one you wanted wasn't immediately available. It's called settling for the next best thing, which you would think is just common sense, but apparently not to this woman. Tara also goes on to make another video after getting so much backlash about how she responded to this girl's reason for not giving her the top.
The internet is a crazy place, and I know I keep saying like, y'all, it's not that deep, and everyone's like, then why are you still making videos? I'm making this video because people are commenting on my stuff and DMing me saying, Tara's world values a halter top over a human life. If she had said to me, hey, I have the halter top that you want and I wish I could get it to you, but I actually have a shift tonight at the hospital, you know what I would say? I would say, oh my God, that's totally fine. Like, go slay at your job. Like, good luck tonight. Like, love you forever. Like, but that wasn't the case. And like, who cares? Am I explaining this? Oh my God. Okay. So we were talking for like 12 hours, right? We started talking the night before New Year's Eve, and she was like, yeah, I live in the Valley. Like, I'm going to get you this halter top. It's going to be great. We were chatting. We were whatever. We're talking for like 12 hours about the halter top. I'm so excited. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't go to the mall to get a shirt because she said that she would give me the halter top. Then like 4 o'clock rolls around and I had to leave by like 6. She just stops answering. Never once told me that she had a shift to work. Never mentioned work once. She just stopped answering until like midnight. So yeah, I was annoyed, and you would be annoyed too if your friend was like, yeah, like, don't even worry about going to the mall. I have a shirt that you can wear to this specific party, this specific dinner. Like, I have something that you can wear so you don't go to the mall and then your friend ghosts you that day and never gives you the shirt. You'd be annoyed too, but it's not that deep. I was just annoyed. People are making videos and commenting on my stuff like, Tara's world hates healthcare workers. Tara's world values a halter top over a human life. I'm like, oh my God.
Again, it doesn't matter if you didn't go to the mall because you guys were talking for hours prior. If she couldn't or just didn't respond, then I'm sorry to say, but tough shit. She is not your friend. I don't understand this. I don't get how you can feel so entitled to things that aren't even yours. You are asking to borrow a shirt from a stranger, dude. This isn't like just a common thing. Also, yes, people are saying Tara's world values a halter top over human life. Why are you shocked by that? Now, I will admit, it is a little over the top. No pun intended. But I mean, if she's in the ER and they're short-staffed, they need her to stay. Is that statement really false? It might be a little over-exaggerated, but I mean, girl, you are literally saying to an ER worker that she needed to prioritize you over her job. How out of touch can you be? It's just disgusting. It's weird. And to make this situation even more comical, it turns out that the girl who claimed to be a nurse actually might not be a nurse at all. And now I can't find the original account on TikTok, but Tara claims that she might be running a scam Bankman-Fried type operation.
Y'all, I'm crying. I'm only saying this right now because I've seen a couple of people now catching on and saying this, but I've been thinking this for days. There ain't no way that girl is a nurse. First of all, when she first DM'd me, like, she already had like 200,000 followers, yet she has no profile picture, 0 posts, no link to an Instagram. I'm like, you either bought those followers or you bought this account. Again, no profile picture, like super sketchy, 0 posts, no link to an Instagram, whatever. Then yesterday she was posting these like weird ass fake pictures on her TikTok, like, yo, I finna be at the club tonight, what should I wear? And they were like obviously like super fake. fake. And I was looking at them like, what the fuck? And people were eating it up in the comments. They were like, go off, queen. I was like, these have to be AI. And I just saw someone like putting one of the pictures in like an AI generator thing, and it literally said like, this picture is 97% AI. And I was like, oh my God, that's what I thought.
Now, instead of taking accountability, or at the very least, just not responding to the situation at all, Tara has obviously milked this situation to oblivion, making 10 plus videos on the subject as a whole, or just briefly mentioning it. And that's not even including the videos she's deleted as well. And even if this nurse was real or fake that Tara claims that she is, I don't really think that matters, because it's not the fact that she was a nurse, it's how she responded. And she's still getting an insane amount of hate in her comment section, which is well deserved and quite frankly pretty funny. My favorite comment being, Tara, there was people that were dying, but call me crazy, I think this whole halter top situation, scandal, controversy, whatever you want to call it, is all set up by design, all by Tara herself. Just over the past 2 months, Tara has also conveniently been in the process of selling her house because she is unable to afford her $25,000 a month mortgage. Oh my God, you cannot fucking make this shit up.
How much is your mortgage? This is what fucks me up. So my mortgage, like the minimum mortgage payment on my house, I'm gonna be so transparent right now because like, why not? When I bought this house, I was like making so much more money than I do now because my OF was just doing better. So I was making all this money. I got approved for a $6 million loan. I was like, oh wow. But I had already found this house, and this house was on the market for 3.8. And I was like, oh, like I'm lowballing it right now. Like so I think I took out, I don't know, I put like $1 million down, and then I did renovation. So like my minimum mortgage payment right now is $25,000 a month.
Words cannot even begin to explain the amount of stupidity I just heard her say in that clip. Putting $1 million down plus more for renovations on a home is just absolutely bizarre. It's me from the future. I wanted to elaborate on this a little bit. The reason I said her financial decision to put $1 million down on her home was absolutely bizarre is because, well, obviously when you're buying a home, you need to put 20% down. I don't know about you guys, but 20% of $3.8 million is not $1 million. In fact, it is about $600,000. Also, another thing, obviously you can put more or less down on a home, but typically if you're putting less down on a home, that means you are unable to afford 20% down in the first place, so you wouldn't even bother with that. You'd go through like an FHA loan or whatnot. And then if you put 20% or more, obviously you can get a better interest rate or even build equity even faster than you would just putting 20% down. But given that she has left the house after 2 years, this financial decision seems like it was a dumb one. Plus, she put renovations on top of that. Overall, this decision was just moronic. She's a fucking idiot with her money, but obviously we're talking about Tara's world, so who could expect anything less out of her? Plus, she bought this house when she was making so much off of OnlyFans, which obviously is not a long-term business strategy, and I don't know why she thought she could afford that house. Even with the earnings she was doing, she must have known it would have slowed down eventually. But I guess she didn't, because why do any research on anything? Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Back to the video. The funniest thing about it, just a little over 2 years later, she's selling it most likely at a loss, because let's face it, selling a home, especially after making specific renovations like a cat room.
There was a bathroom right there, and we gutted the bathroom and made this. It's a cat room. How dope is that? But like also it could be like a kid room.
Just after 2 years of buying the property, you're probably not going to get much for that, if anything. And to be honest, this just puts a smile right on my face because I cannot stand this person. But regardless, the reason I say all this is because, and now keep in mind, this is just a theory, all alleged, not factual, but I think she's just using this halter top situation to garnish more viewership and drive that viewership straight to her OnlyFans. She's amassed just millions of views of even just mentioning this situation in her videos, which probably most likely drive more degenerates straight to her OnlyFans. She absolutely knows what she's doing in this situation, and because she's been in controversy before.
And we're gonna have eggs one day. You want me to touch it in a good spot?
So there's no doubt in my mind that she's using this as a vehicle to gain more viewership, which ultimately means more money. And I think she knows that she's probably not going to make any money off the house she bought just 2 years ago. And now she's forced to move into another house. So doing this whole halter top thing is absolutely a genius move. She's also said in the past that she's willing to get into a scandal on purpose just so she could run up her OnlyFans.
Prepare to be fucking sick of me with the OF promo. I might purposely get myself into a scandal. I'm cooking something up right now. Let me know if you have any ideas of like horrible, awful things I could say online to purposely get myself into a scandal. I'm going to.
I get comments like, I thought you didn't do OF anymore. I thought you hated it. Just quit. I'm like, I can't just quit. I would lose my house.
And even if she claims what she said in that video is a joke, is it really a stretch to say that selling her house, that again is probably not gonna get a good return on investment, that she might have been the one to muster up this whole haltergate scandal? And I'm not the only one who thinks this. There are other videos explaining their reasons why they think Tara's behind the account, or at least knows that she's not a nurse. Anyways, even if the nurse was real or fake, people are more so outraged by the way she responded to the situation and not the fact that that woman was or was not a nurse. When Tara first responded, it was under the assumption that she was a nurse and she absolutely was working at the ER. And her response reflects that, with her demanding a response from her because it's New Year's Eve and she needs this outfit. And Tara does not seem to understand that fact. She still sees this as just her friend betraying her, or just some troll wanting to sabotage her New Year's Eve, whatever that fucking means. Even though this is literally a shirt, it's over a damn shirt. And again, it just proves how entitled she is, and she really does not live outside of her own bubble. Instead of just being a little annoyed or frustrated in private, which by the way would have been perfectly valid, she decided to just blast the situation online and act like an entitled bitch. Again, even if it's fake, that doesn't matter. Her whole attitude towards this situation has been just really shitty. And now she's making a mini series or whatever you want to call it, and she's not looking at her comment section. She made this video promising to Venmo her one of her followers or something $20 every time she looked at the comment section.
Every time I look into my comment section for the next week, we'll say the next week, I'm gonna Venmo one of you guys $20.
Congratulations, I guess. I mean, you brought this upon yourself, so I don't really understand this whole thing, but hooray? Anyways, I don't really like this person, and I just wanted to make this video to highlight this situation because I just thought it was bizarre, but also kind of genius. I mean, she's inevitably making more money off of this whole thing, so congratulations. But my God, you are one of the most insufferable people on this entire planet.